You ever notice how much you appreciate something when it's gone? It's human nature. We often overlook the things that are always there, assuming they'll always be available. It's only when they disappear that we start to understand their true value. We often take things for granted until they're not there. This phenomenon isn't limited to material possessions or places. It extends to people and relationships as well. The absence of a loved one can create a profound sense of loss and longing. This is true for relationships too. When someone is always around, it's easy to become accustomed to their presence. We might not even realize how much they contribute to our lives until they're no longer there. Letting someone feel your absence can be a powerful thing. It allows them to reflect on what you bring into their life. It's not about playing games or manipulating someone, it's about giving them the space to recognize your value. It's not about playing games or manipulating someone, it's about giving them the space to recognize your value. When you're constantly around, it's easy to become complacent. Absence creates a void that can be filled with appreciation and understanding. It's about giving them the space to recognize your value. When you're constantly around, it's easy to become complacent. Absence creates a void. This void can be the catalyst for someone to realize what they're missing. Think about it. When you're constantly around, it's easy to become complacent. Absence creates a void. This void can be the catalyst for someone to realize what they're missing. Think about it. Have you ever had a friend or partner who was always there for you? This void can be the catalyst for someone to realize what they're missing. Think about it. Have you ever had a friend or partner who was always there for you? You knew you could count on them no matter what. Then something changed. Have you ever had a friend or partner who was always there for you? You knew you could count on them no matter what. Then something changed. Maybe they moved away, or maybe life just got in the way. Suddenly that constant presence was gone. You knew you could count on them no matter what. Then something changed. Maybe they moved away, or maybe life just got in the way. Suddenly that constant presence was gone. That's when you feel it, the absence. Maybe they moved away, or maybe life just got in the way. Suddenly that constant presence was gone. That's when you feel it, the absence. It's in those moments when you're reaching for the phone to call them or wishing you could just talk to them that you realize how much they truly mean to you. Suddenly that constant presence was gone. That's when you feel it, the absence. It's in those moments when you're reaching for the phone to call them or wishing you could just talk to them that you realize how much they truly mean to you. Absence has a way of highlighting the importance of people in our lives. That's when you feel it, the absence. It's in those moments when you're reaching for the phone to call them or wishing you could just talk to them that you realize how much they truly mean to you. Absence has a way of highlighting the importance of people in our lives. It makes us appreciate the time we had with them and the impact they had on us. It's in those moments when you're reaching for the phone to call them or wishing you could just talk to them that you realize how much they truly mean to you. Absence has a way of highlighting the importance of people in our lives. It makes us appreciate the time we had with them and the impact they had on us. So the next time you find yourself missing someone, take a moment to reflect on what they mean to you and how their absence has shaped your perspective. Absence creates a space for reflection. When we find ourselves in places that are usually bustling with activity but now stand silent, it gives us a moment to pause. These empty spaces, devoid of the usual noise and distractions, allow our minds to wander and reflect on what truly matters. When you're not constantly bombarded with someone's presence, you begin to notice the subtle details of your surroundings, the quiet hum of the city waking up, the stillness of an empty coffee shop, the serenity of a park in the early morning. These moments of solitude can be incredibly revealing. You have the opportunity to step back and see things more clearly. It's in these moments of solitude that you can gain a new perspective on life. Standing alone on a hill, looking out over a vast valley or sitting quietly by a lake, you start to see the bigger picture. You start to notice the things you miss about them, their laugh, their advice, their company. These small yet significant details that once seemed mundane now hold a deeper meaning. The way they made you smile, the comfort of their presence, the warmth of their touch, all these memories come flooding back. This realization can be a powerful motivator. It can drive you to reach out, to reconnect, to mend what might have been broken. Walking alone on a beach, standing on a mountain peak, or sitting by a river, you feel a renewed sense of purpose. It can make someone re-evaluate their priorities. In the quiet moments of reflection, you start to understand what truly matters. Watching a sunset, walking through a forest, or standing at a viewpoint, you begin to see the importance of the relationships in your life. They might start to realize that they haven't been giving the relationship the attention it deserves. Looking at old photos, writing in a journal, or even during a disagreement, these moments can be eye-opening. They highlight the need for more effort, more care, and more love. They might start to appreciate you more than ever. The simple act of holding hands, sharing a hug, or laughing together can become cherished moments. These small gestures of affection take on a new significance. It's like that old saying, "You don't know what you've got till it's gone." This timeless adage rings true in so many aspects of life. It's a reminder to cherish what we have before it's too late. It's a cliché for a reason. It's true. The truth behind this saying is undeniable. It resonates with everyone because we've all experienced it at some point. Sometimes it takes a little distance to make someone realize just how much you mean to them. The joy of reuniting, the warmth of a hug, the comfort of an embrace. These moments are priceless. They remind us of the value of connection and the importance of the people we hold dear. Believe it or not, there's actually a scientific reason why we miss people. When we form close bonds with others, our brains release hormones like oxytocin and dopamine. These hormones are associated with pleasure and bonding. When we're separated from those people, our brains crave those feel-good chemicals. This is why we feel a sense of longing or sadness when we're apart from loved ones. It's a natural, biological response. This withdrawal from those feel-good hormones can actually be beneficial for relationships. It can make us appreciate our loved ones even more when they return. It's like taking a break from something you enjoy. It makes you appreciate it even more when you come back to it. Absence isn't just about the other person realizing your value. It's also an opportunity for you to grow and learn. When you're constantly around someone, it's easy to lose yourself in the relationship. You might start to neglect your own needs and desires. Taking some time for yourself allows you to reconnect with who you are as an individual. You can pursue your own hobbies, interests, and goals. This can make you a more well-rounded and interesting person, which ultimately benefits your relationships. Think of it like this: you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself, fill your own cup, and you'll have even more to give to your relationships. Section 5. Stronger bonds. Appreciating what we have. When both people in a relationship are secure in themselves and appreciate the value the other brings, it creates a strong and healthy bond. Absence can be the catalyst for this growth and appreciation. It's not about playing games or trying to make someone jealous. It's about creating a dynamic where both people feel valued and appreciated. It's about fostering a love that's based on mutual respect and understanding. Section 6. Case study, the power of absence in action. Let me tell you about a couple I worked with on my show. They were a typical couple, living in the hustle and bustle of the city, always surrounded by noise and distractions. They had been together for several years, and while they loved each other, they had fallen into a pattern that was slowly eroding their relationship. They were constantly at each other's throats. Every little thing seemed to spark an argument, whether it was about household chores, finances, or even what to watch on TV. The tension between them was palpable, and it was clear that something needed to change. They were suffocating each other with their constant presence. It was as if they had forgotten how to enjoy each other's company. They spent so much time together that they no longer appreciated the moments they shared. Instead, they focused on the negatives, the annoyances, and the frustrations. They'd fallen into a rut of taking each other for granted. The spark that had once ignited their relationship was now a mere flicker. They no longer made an effort to surprise each other or to show appreciation for the little things. Their relationship had become mundane and predictable. I gave them an unorthodox assignment: spend 2 weeks apart, no contact whatsoever. This meant no phone calls, no texts, no social media interactions. They were to live their lives independently, as if they were single again. The goal was to give them space to reflect on their relationship and to miss each other. At first, they were hesitant. The idea of being apart for 2 weeks seemed daunting. They worried that the distance would drive them further apart, that they would grow accustomed to being alone and not want to reunite. But they also recognized that their current situation was unsustainable. They thought it would make things worse. They feared that the absence would highlight their differences and make them realize that they were better off apart. But they also knew that they had to try something different if they wanted to save their relationship. But they agreed to give it a try. They made a pact to follow the rules and to use the time apart to reflect on their relationship. They promised to be honest with themselves and with each other about what they discovered during the separation. During those 2 weeks, they both realized how much they missed each other. The absence made them appreciate the little things they had taken for granted. They missed the comfort of their partner's presence, the shared laughter, and even the mundane routines that had once seemed so tedious. They started to focus on the positive aspects of their relationship. They remembered why they had fallen in love in the first place. They realized that their differences were not insurmountable, but rather they added depth and richness to their relationship. They came back together with a renewed sense of appreciation for each other. The time apart had given them a fresh perspective and a deeper understanding of their relationship. They were more committed than ever to making it work, and they had a newfound respect for the power of absence in action. Section 7. Avoiding the traps when absence backfires. Now, I'm not saying that absence is always the answer. It's not about giving someone an ultimatum or trying to manipulate them. If you're using absence as a weapon, it's only going to backfire. If you're constantly threatening to leave or withdraw love and attention as a way to control someone, that's not healthy. That's not love, that's manipulation, and it'll only lead to resentment and further problems down the line. True love is about respect, trust, and communication. It's about supporting each other's growth and being there for each other through thick and thin. Section 8. Finding the balance, healthy absence, healthy relationships. The key is to find a healthy balance. It's important to spend quality time together, but it's also important to have your own lives outside of the relationship. Encourage each other to pursue your own interests and passions. Don't be afraid to spend time apart. Absence truly can make the heart grow fonder. When you do come back together, you'll have more to talk about and you'll appreciate each other's company even more. It's about creating a dynamic where both people feel free to be themselves while still feeling loved and appreciated. Section 9. Your relationships, your move, take action. So how do you apply this to your own life? Start by taking a step back and evaluating your relationships. Are you taking your loved ones for granted? Are you allowing yourself to be taken for granted? If so, it might be time to shake things up a bit. Spend some time apart, pursue your own interests, and come back together with a renewed sense of appreciation for each other. Remember, relationships take work. But by understanding the power of absence, you can create stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling bonds with the people you love.